So, as you can tell, this is our fine woodworking cabinet made by us here at MakeHaven to house these great tools we have for you. So with these great tools come a great responsibility and how to properly use them, okay? So generally, anything with a blade on it, like these Stanley hand planes, these blades should really only be used on wood. That is it. That means do not remove any kind of a glue scrape with them, because that glue is a hardened resin that will impact the blade. These blades are sharpened very finely and they're taken care of. So with caring for these and using them, we want to precaution you against what not to use them on. Typically, you're going to use them on wood. That is it. Okay. Not acrylics, not metals, not. I would stay away from plywood. Okay. I'm going to go as far as say don't use them on plywood as well, but use them on really solid woods, like you see here. This is a red oak. So you're going to use it against the grain. It's going to cut your shavings, obviously. This is a hand plane. And then you're going to properly store it when you're done. Feel free to take it out, put it on the bench table, put it on a piece of wood. If you're going to put on metal like this, that's fine, but don't keep the blade touching the metal. Keep it propped up against the metal. Don't keep it resting on metal for a long time, because these will oxidize. Wood is the best and most secure environment for it. In the future, we're going to create little notches to keep these locked in place. However, they will stay just like that as long as you keep this cabinet safe. The same thing applies to hand chisels. These chisels, this is their home. They stay up there. And they have these little safeguards really to protect you, but also if they happen to fall off on the ground, they won't hit the ground with a nice sharpened piece of steel. They'll hit it with a plastic guard on it. So whenever you put these chisels back, just put back the guards. If you're going to use a chisel, put the guard up here. Simple as that. When you're using the chisels, the same thing applies. Don't use them with any kind of metal objects, only wood. Okay? If you use them very heavily against woods, that's fine as well, but just be very cautious of your hands. These will remove your fingers. They're very sharp. We can talk about this later, the proper holding techniques. But when you're done with them, put the guard back on it and put them back up in their little homes. I'll reinstate this. Don't use any of the blades on any kind of metals, acrylics, glues. Don't use them to remove glues. That's what power sanders are for. And same applies to the chisels. You'll see a couple of these excess parts here, like this hand blade. This is for a chisel. It's pretty sharp as well. You can use these like a chisel as well for certain applications, but again, the same thing applies. Just because it doesn't have a home inside an actual hand plane doesn't mean you got to treat it rough. Just take care of it. Obviously, it looks crappy because there's a lot of rust on it and whatnot, but still, it's been sharpened and polished very well. It's very sharp, and it still is a great tool to use. So with that, we ask you to respect it, and please just put it back where you find it. Anything in this cabinet, like I said, is to be used on wood and wood only. Marking gauges, same thing. Keep it back in the case where it came from. This is an awl. Awls are pretty hard to mess up, but use it on wood. It's going to preserve the life. And these Japanese back saws and these dovetail saws. If you use these on metal or plastics or acrylics or glues, they will break off these little blades, and these blades are very expensive. They're fine saws, so just be careful using them, and ask someone if you don't know how to use them, how to use them. So, put that back here. When you're done with the tool cabinet, keep your door closed. Make sure the tools are back here in the resting spot. These fixtures are made to hold these tools so the blade stays safe and the tools stay secured. Okay, so they're not just thrown in a corner or on a bench. Cabinet doesn't close properly, meaning we need to fix the magnets, but it will close nonetheless. Make sure these hand saws are secured by these little notches that are made. This is just so they don't come flying off the wall. And that is all. Be safe, and if you have questions, ask someone who works here or is an animator. Thank you.